What can you do? Shit happens and we move on. We keep moving forward. And now we have a new date. Usyk's crying his eyes out.
Ever since Tyson Fury had to postpone his fight with Usyk for his apparent eye injury, fans have been accusing him of faking it left and right. Fury, in his recent interview with MMA Hour, answers to all these allegations. Now, I know you've probably heard some wild stories about this whole situation, but let's get right into the nitty-gritty without diving into any unnecessary backstories. Here's what went down. So there he was, Tyson Fury, sitting down for an interview on the MMA Hour, ready to set the record straight. And what's the record? Well, it's all about that gnarly cut above his right eye, which needed a whopping 11 stitches to patch up. Fury wanted to make it crystal clear that this injury was no hoax. It was real, it was painful, and it definitely wasn't something he inflicted on himself. Now, what caused this split eye, as Fury described it? It turns out during one of his sparring sessions, he took a hard elbow to the face. Ouch, right? That's not the kind of hit anyone wants to take, especially when they're gearing up for a massive fight. But Fury wasn't about to let this injury derail his plans.
Hey, I want to do something, and this is secret. Tyson doesn't want me to tell it.
He even mentioned that there were medical reports from the hospital to prove that this was no fake injury. It was legit, folks. But why did he feel the need to address this in the first place? Well, because rumors were swirling like a Texas twister. People were suggesting that Fury might have faked the injury, or even crazier, that he did it to himself to get out of the fight. I mean, come on, who does that? But that's the world of rumors and conspiracy theories for you. So Fury, being the champ that he is, decided to clear the air once and for all. He wanted everyone to see that this injury was as real as it gets. And guess what? He did just that. He showed that cut on the MMA Hour, giving you an up-close and personal view of it. It was as raw and real as it gets, and it definitely put a damper on those wild conspiracy theories. But that's not all. The interview also dropped a bombshell. The new date for the Fury-Usyk showdown is now set for May 18th. That's right, fight fans, mark that date on your calendar because these two heavyweights are ready to throw down. And if you're worried about another postponement, don't be. Turki Alalshik, the man behind the scenes, made it clear that if either fighter decides to bail on the new date, they'd be looking at a $10 million fine. That's some serious cash. Plus, they'd have to find a replacement fighter for May 18th, and one name that's been floating around is Filip Hrgovic. Talk about high stakes.
Tell everybody, I'm in such a good mood. There's, in life, sometimes shitty things happen.
Now, you might be wondering why Fury didn't just push through and keep the original fight date despite the injury. Well, that's where Alalshik stepped in. He wasn't having any of that. He wanted to make sure that this fight happens without any doubts or suspicions about Fury's injury. So, the rescheduling and the hefty fines are all part of the plan to ensure this fight goes down as scheduled. But you know how the boxing world is, right? It's a wild place filled with passionate fans and heated discussions. This postponement has caused quite a stir, and people have been throwing shade left and right. Everyone's got an opinion and they're not afraid to share it. And here's where it gets interesting. Some eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange in all the footage floating around on social media. They saw a cut above Fury's right eye in one clip, and then in another video, it looked like the cut was above his left eye. Wait, what? Yeah, talk about confusion and chaos in the rumor mill? But hold your horses, folks. The experts swooped in to clear things up. It turns out that this whole left-right eye debate could be chalked up to the mirror effect in video recordings. You know how a mirror can reverse images? Well, that's what happened here. Mystery solved, right? This incident just goes to show how scrutinizing and skeptical fans can be when it comes to high-profile boxing matches. Every little detail gets dissected, and social media plays a big role in stirring up controversies. Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the broader picture. There are some other exciting fights on the horizon in the boxing world. One that's been making waves is the potential bout between Anthony Joshua and Francis. The winner of that match could end up facing the victor of the Fury-Usyk showdown, adding even more spice to the heavyweight boxing scene. Talk about a heavyweight showdown extravaganza. But let's not forget about Alexander Usyk, the cool, calm, and collected Ukrainian champion. When he heard about the fight's delay, he didn't throw a fit or start cursing the boxing gods. No. Usyk's manager, Aegis Klimas, had this to say about his reaction. Alexander is a true professional. He understands the nature of the sport. When I told him about the postponement, he simply smiled. That silence, that smile, spoke volumes about his strength of character. Now that's some class right there.
Брат, он спрашивает, ты сможешь справиться?
Yes, of course.
Now let's get back to those rumors and speculations. You know how the rumor mill works, right? People start whispering and suddenly wild theories start popping up like mushrooms after a rainstorm. There were some folks out there suggesting that maybe Fury pulled a fast one and either self-inflicted that cut or exaggerated it to avoid the fight. But Eddie Hearn, the big cheese over at Matchroom Boxing, wasn't having any of that nonsense. He came out swinging in defense of Fury's character, saying, "To suggest that Tyson Fury would intentionally harm himself to avoid a fight is not only absurd, but a disservice to the sport. Tyson has always trained with an open head guard, and to imply otherwise is to ignore his dedication and respect for boxing." So, there you have it, folks. Hearn shut down those rumors faster than a one-punch knockout. But this whole postponement got people reminiscing about the crazy disruptions in the heavyweight division's history. It's a wild ride, and you never quite know what's going to happen next. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Other contenders in the division, like Filip Hrgović, saw an opportunity in this chaos. Hrgović didn't waste any time declaring, "I am ready to step up and face Usyk." Now that's some bold talk right there. It adds a whole new layer of excitement to the heavyweight landscape with potential matchups that could keep us all on the edge of our seats while waiting for the Fury-Usyk showdown.
I think Usyk is a big favorite, and I think he'll win, but like I said, it's a heavyweight boxing and...
Now, let's not forget what's at stake here. The Fury versus Usyk matchup was supposed to be a historic one. It had the potential to unify the heavyweight division's titles for the first time in ages, dating back to the days of Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. The anticipation for this fight was off the charts, with fans and analysts alike hailing it as a monumental event in boxing history. But this unexpected delay has put those dreams on hold. It's like waiting for Christmas morning, only to find out it's been postponed to May. Frustrating, right? Even Evander Holyfield, a former heavyweight champion himself, chimed in on the situation. He raised some valid questions about the injury, saying, "I find it hard to understand how such a cut could occur with the protective gear that's worn during sparring. It raises questions about the whole situation." Holyfield's got a point there, and he's not alone in his skepticism. In the midst of all this controversy and the swirling rumors, Tyson Fury poured his heart out in a statement. He expressed his genuine sadness over the postponement and offered apologies to everyone involved, from Team Usyk to the undercard fighters, the partners, the fans, and even the folks in Saudi Arabia who were looking forward to this epic showdown. Fury's commitment to rescheduling the fight remained unwavering despite the setback. Now, as the boxing community grapples with the aftermath of this postponement, the focus has shifted to what's next. What's the plan for Usyk? And how do they navigate the logistical challenges of rescheduling such a massive bout? Well, Eddie Hearn, the man with the plan, has some insights. He's looking at potential dates in April or May once Fury's eye has fully healed. Hearn assured everyone that they're exploring all options to make sure this fight happens as soon as possible. Once Tyson is back in fighting shape, they'll be working tirelessly to find a suitable date that works for everyone involved. And let's not forget about that leaked sparring footage that showed the moment Fury got that nasty cut. It shed some light on the intense and risky nature of fight preparations. Hearn made it clear that Tyson was pushing himself to the limit, sparring with 6 different southpaws to simulate Usyk's style. His dedication to being in peak condition for this fight was unquestionable. So, there you have it, folks. The saga of Tyson Fury's eye cut, the rumors, and the postponement. It's been a roller coaster ride of emotions and speculations, but one thing's for sure. When that Fury-Usyk fight finally happens on May 18th, it's going to be a battle for the ages. Until then, keep those rumors at bay and get ready for the heavyweight showdown of the year.